So it's KLF and Tammy Wynette. And, it was 1994, and what they did on the Scottish island of Jura very famously was that they burned £1 million in cash, £50 notes, and everyone went, wow. The song was from 1991, and the founders, Jimmy Corty and Bill Drummond, have a new project, and it's called the People's Pyramid in Toxteth, Liverpool. It's going to be a huge structure. The key point is it's going to be built out of bricks made from the ashes of the dead. And the process of making these special bricks inlaid with human ashes has been called Mumufication. It's an actual thing with real undertakers involved in the project. An area in the historically deprived district of Toxteth in Liverpool has been set aside for this pyramid. And every year on the 23rd of November, a Toxteth Day of the Dead celebration will see more and more of them laid in an ever-growing pyramid until this thing is 23 foot high. Now, they have had are you following this? 2 Day of the Dead so far since 2018. And this is the advert on the Mumufication website. I can't work out if this is tongue-in-cheek or not.
Mumufication for you. Limited offer at Toxteth Town Hall. Free tea and mince pies. Toxteth Day of the Dead. Toxteth Day of the Dead. Be there. Bring a friend.
So is this for real? In a moment, we'll find out more about Mumufication and what it's about. Call us 08000 288 291 if you think this is a good idea. Make a pyramid out of ashes. Why not? We've done everything else. Connor Garrett joins us, BBC journalist who's looked into the subject for the latest edition of the BBC podcast, Seriously. And Connor, this is how we heard about it, through your podcast. So tell us more.
Oh, wow. It's absolutely for real. I went along to the brickworks in Chesham, where the bricks of Moo, as they're called, are being produced. And I met the people who get people to register and sign up for Mumufication, as you've described. And they send out the bricks in which their ashes will one day be interred. But also, I went along to a night of remembrance in Liverpool, and it was kind of a wake with a difference. And that involved the loved ones of those whose bricks of ashes were being laid into the foundation stone, what's called the foundation stone of the People's Pyramid, and that was last year on the 23rd of November. And this was as real and as poignant as any funeral or memorial service I've ever attended, I have to say.
Well, I was thinking that because although there's a strangeness about it, there's almost a jokiness, in the end you are dealing with people's loved ones and they are going to be built into an object, whether it's a pyramid or whatever, but it's going to have a kind of sacred quality, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a mixture between kind of being funny and absurd as well as sacred. I think it's a way of looking at death in a kind of offbeat, alternative way. Bill Drummond says in my programme that we live, he reminds us this country is increasingly secular. The funeral industry out there can be sometimes a bit cynical, and often the traditional funerals we're also used to don't really reflect who we are or the lives we've led. So this is providing an alternative that is a bit bonkers and very different, but actually might be more fitting for a lot of people out there, particularly, obviously, and KLF fans, but not just KLF fans.
KLF have got this reputation for doing extraordinary, outstanding things, and Burning the Money was a famous one, and we go back 20, 30 years for that. Are they still a band at heart, or almost a franchise?
Well, I couldn't possibly speak on their behalf. I don't know what they are. I think they're kind of cultural provocateurs. I think they're maybe culture jammers, might be a way to put it. They question the orthodoxies we have, the established ideas we have around society. I think they're more interested in that than pop music. I think what they did with pop music was actually a means of doing exactly that, questioning this industry, this commercial cultural industry which has grown up in the UK. So, they're out there to question and ask questions. And are they still a pop band? I think not, is the answer.
Thank you very much, D. Connor Garrett. The podcast is called Seriously, all about KLF and their latest project, the People's Pyramid. Now, somebody who knows all about this is Rupert Callender, who runs the Green Funeral Company with his partner, Claire. Rupert, you and Claire are the undertakers handling the project. Is that right?
Yes, that's absolutely right, Jeremy. We certainly are.
And so therefore, if I were to be in a very ill or whatever, and I said I want my ashes to be in the pyramid, how would I go about getting that to happen?
Well, our role is really sort of ceremonial, because that's what we do as undertakers. We also hold the service. But if you wanted to get a brick, and loads of people are getting signing up for Mumufication, you go to L13, which is the sort of overreaching department that deals with all of the process.
Right. Now, Claire is there. Claire, tell me what you're doing in the project.
So when the bricks are laid every year, we have the Toxteth Day of the Dead. We beat the bounds of Toxteth, and then at the very end, we've dragged the foundation stone all the way round, and we ritually lay that year's bricks that have been mumified, and Rue and I hold that ceremony. And we also hold what Connor was talking about, the wake the night before, where we invite the families of the people who are going to be mumified to stand up and talk about the person that's died, which is always incredibly moving.
Yeah, it goes into the pyramid, but I'm guessing you need so many bricks to build a pyramid that it's going to be years before we can actually see what shape is being formed here.
Absolutely. I mean, the pyramid has been designed really well in that it's always a pyramid. Like, we've got 9 bricks, and that's already a little pyramid. It grows like a crystal. But, we haven't found a site for it yet, so it needs to be protected while it's still little. But
how many bricks do you think you'll need in total?
We need 34,592.
Rupert, you've been at this for a year. You've got 9.
Yes, absolutely.
This is going to take several centuries, by my reckoning.
We're well aware that the 4 of us, Bill, Jimmy, Claire and myself, are more likely going to be dead before it's completed. And part of the kind of the vision of it is to create a pyramid which in 20, 30 years' time, people won't really remember what originally it was about. That's part of it. It's to create a community ritual about death that isn't anything to do with the KLF. It's more to do with the people of Toxteth and anybody who wants to use a little bit of their ashes, because it's only 23 grams. The average weight of a person's ashes is 7.5 pounds. So it's not like this is the only thing you can do with somebody's cremated remains. It's just if the idea of being part of an anonymous utilitarian art death memorial project is something that you'd like to do, then you can sign up and have a brick sitting on your mantelpiece tomorrow.
And Mumufication, just to help me with that word, is that because it's in the lyric of Justified and Ancient, or what?
They've been many things. They were the KLF, then they were K2 Foundation for a bit. They're now K2 Plant Hire, which was always set up to build pyramids. And another of their names is the Justified Ancients of Mumu. So that is why the bricks have got Mumu stamped on them, and the process is called Mumufication.
Thank you very much indeed, Rupert, Calendar and Claire, who are the partners who are undertakers handling the art project, which is all based on KLF. And you may sound wacky, but in the end, it's a life. It's maybe your life. We all end up as dust and ashes, and then we're built into a pyramid. Do you fancy that? 08000 288 291, vine@bbc.co.uk. You may think the whole idea sounds absolutely horrific. Take it away, Paul McCartney. I'm just trying to get my head around this KLF thing, whether it matters, whether it's interesting, whether it's important, whether it may just be art, maybe it doesn't need to be any of those things. They're trying to build a pyramid essentially made out of human ashes. They need 34,000. It's going to be in Toxteth, Liverpool. They've got 9 bricks so far. So it could take a while, but then if everyone listening thinks that's for me, then we could get this sorted in the next generation or so. Peter Hughes in Liverpool, you are a labourer and you worked on the pyramid of ashes, so you can help us understand this.
That's right. Hello there, Jeremy.
Hi. So what happened?
Yes, so my job was, I'm part of a group called Liverpool Arts Lab, and Bill and Jimmy from the Justified Ancient of Mumu asked the Liverpool Arts Lab to help them on staging the event of the beating of the bounds, which is basically we go round Toxteth with the foundation stone and find a home for the pyramid. So we go round various places, and on the way we commemorate people of Toxteth, famous people who have died, have passed. We take them round and we commemorate these sometimes normal people, sometimes famous people, just people who have been born and bred in Toxteth and have helped the community. And we basically try and turn this whole event into a community event, and try and keep it as normal and real as possible, as a funeral type of situation can be, you know.
Okay. Respectfully done. Thank you very much. Lee Ashcroft in Colchester, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You've held one of the bricks.
Yes, I have.
Tell us what that was like.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird happenstance and chance that caused it to happen, but most of the bricks were accompanied by their relatives and the relatives of people within the bricks and families and friends and that. But there were a couple that didn't have anybody representing them, and volunteers were sought out. I offered, and the brick that I held ended up containing the ashes of a man called Don Joyce, who was in a American rock band called Negative Land. He died a couple of years ago, and his ashes were in this brick. And by sheer coincidence, about a month earlier, I'd just done a gig here in Colchester with Negative Land.
You're joking?
So
really?
Yeah, not joking. It was, strange things happen in Liverpool.
That is amazing. All right, now, this pyramid sounds more and more fascinating by the minute. Chris McDonnell in Taunton, Somerset, your friend passed away a few months ago. I'm very sorry to hear.
Yes, that's right. She passed away sort of late last year, and she was quite keen on joining the pyramid, so she'd ordered one of the bricks before she passed, and she will be joining the pyramid up in Toxteth.
So she knew that the pyramid was being built by KLF, and she knew she was ill, did she?
She did know she was ill, yeah. So she organised one of the bricks to be sent down. So they announced at the funeral that she would be taking part in the project. And
can I ask a little bit about your friend, or her name and so on?
She was called Lee Powell. She was very fun-loving, so this idea, I think, was very her. She was very keen on Glastonbury and all those type of things. And I think she read about it when she was ill and thought that was something she'd love to be part of. And
do you feel now that, you know, this pyramid will in some way represent her?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I actually think it's, you know, a very cool idea. So, I mean, maybe a long way off, but I think it's something I would do as well if I had the chance.
I suppose it's the idea, we don't think of this very often, is that our ashes could be used for something ceremonial instead of just being thrown away.
Yeah, and as you said, it's only a small part of the ashes that go into the pyramid. So there is something for the family to do something else with as well. So I quite like the idea that, you know, you're just part of something getting bigger and bigger. And they'll obviously be there for a while.
Well, thank you very much again. We're learning all the time here. Very interesting. The ashes going into bricks, becoming a pyramid, and still searching for a site in Toxteth, Liverpool, but then they have a little while before the pyramid needs one. The Weekend, Blinding Lights, Jeremy Vine here. All right, we'll hear about the BBC Sounds programme Fit and Fearless. We're talking about the pyramid in Liverpool and whether it's respectful. And actually, do you know what? The calls we've had have been really lovely about people who've passed away and they've heard about this thing and they want to become part of a pyramid, and why not? BBC Sounds.